Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Spectrum Drama, where we take a look at the hottest posts on Spectrum for the week and give our opinions on them. Okay, so before we get started, we have a giveaway coming up for the month of June. So if you want to be in with your chance to win an Avenger Titan Invictus starter pack, this is a war bond, comes with 10 years insurance, it comes with, some digital downloads, some starting money, and obviously it's got that cool blue and gold colour. So if you want to win that, all you need to do is comment on this and every video in the month of June for your chance to win. Every unique video that you comment on will count, so the more videos that you comment on, the more chances to win. Also, if you are signed up to our Discord, then you will get one additional entry into the giveaway. So if you haven't signed up, sign up. It's free. We chat. It's fun. So that's pretty much it. So yes, get commenting for your chance to win that Invictus Avenger Titan. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so first up we've got a post from Kirk, and it says, unpopular, but it needs saying. I know you guys don't want to hear this, but the game has been running fine for me, which means it's running fine for others. Played for hours, blah blah blah, did some stuff, blah blah blah. You're all wrong. I'm right because it worked for me. So stop moaning, and CIG are doing a fantastic job. That's the gist. I think there's a comment actually which I'm going to read which sums this up perfectly. It says, you're holding a sandwich in your hand doesn't mean there is no hunger in the world. Which that sums it up perfectly, because just because it works for you, dude, doesn't mean it works for everyone else. In fact, for the majority of people, it doesn't work very well, which is why there's a lot more moaning in Spectrum than there is praise. So there you go.
I actually don't mind his first. The original post isn't too bad.
Yeah.
Fair enough. You're having a good time. That's great. What really gets me is one of the comments just down a little bit, where he starts going on about basically if you have a problem with the game, then it's your fault and it's not CIG, and that kind of triggered me a little bit. And I'm thinking, really, are you that stupid? Yeah.
I mean, we've all got epic PCs, we've all got epic internet. It is not those problems. The problem is just CIG have some serious issues at the moment with this game, but they don't affect everyone. And the problem is that you get this small group of people who it doesn't affect, and they have a wondrous time the entire time. And it makes the rest of us quite pissed off because, we've paid just as much as you, so why do you get to play this game seamlessly and we don't? But also there are people out there who, like, for example, I know of a person who couldn't play for the entirety of 3.8 because it was so bugged. He had to do reset after reset after reset after reset. And that, my friend, is not working fine.
No, that is not working fine. Yeah. Yes, really good that some people are really experiencing a good time in the verse at the moment. But from what I've seen, the majority aren't.
Yeah. I think that sums it up. So, I mean, yes, definitely, Kirk, we agree with your sentiment. If you can play this and it's playing fine, CIG, they are doing a fantastic job. But, don't just assume that just because it works for you, it works for everyone. Cool, and that brings us neatly on to our next post by grrrrr. Is that grrrrr?
I think that is grrrrr. Yeah.
Yeah, with an emphasis on the k. So it's grrrrr. And it says, stop using alpha as an excuse. So the long and short of this is that, in fact, I'm going to read this because I quite like the way it's written, so bear with me, people. Okay, so I only wanted to say one thing. This game has been in alpha since God knows when. It's okay. It's okay to be in alpha, to be developing, but to all citizens, all the devs that use "we are in alpha" as an excuse, please. The fact that you are a 5-year-old boy that's pooping in the saloon every day, I don't know where he gets the saloon from. It comes clear that there is one problem, and that is not the fact that you have a 5-year-old that's pooping everywhere. It's the fact that you're permitting it. And you're excusing his conduct, essentially, is what he's getting at. I'm not reading the rest because he starts shouting, and I'll shout. So I'm like Ron Burgundy. I'll read whatever's on the teleprompter. So I agree. I do fully agree that the alpha is used too loosely to kind of justify problems that could be fixed. But it is still an excuse. I mean, it is an alpha. There's nothing we can do about that.
Yeah, I wouldn't really say it's maybe some people do use it as an excuse for certain subjects, but generally it's not an excuse, it's reality.
Yeah.
And you can't go around saying, yeah, it's fine that it's still in alpha, but don't say it's in alpha, because that's not allowed.
Yeah.
That just doesn't make sense. The other thing that he's kind of brought up here that doesn't really sit well with me is his No Man's Sky reference.
Yeah.
He says they didn't excuse themselves and they delivered. I'm pretty sure that they bullshitted their way for about 2 years and then finally released enough stuff to be delivered. It's not the same thing.
Not even a tiny bit. In fact, No Man's Sky, they went one worse than CIG. At least CIG are still kind of pushing stuff out. At one point, it felt like No Man's Sky had given up. And nothing happened for ages. And everyone basically just went, well, they promised this, couldn't deliver it, and they've given up. And then all of a sudden, a game actually did kind of emerge that was pretty good. So not quite there with the No Man's Sky reference, but we see what you're going for.
Yeah. And as the first comment here has kind of pointed out, yep, it's everyone's fault again. It seems to be like a common theme at the moment where people are just kind of, I don't know, blaming each other.
Yeah.
Is that like a stage of grief or something? You know, there's like different stages where you like accept it, then you're angry, and then you're sad, and then is this just a stage in the, you know, I don't know, community where people just blame each other for random shit?
I think that they need something to blame and something to be angry at. They can't be angry at this because it's an alpha. So they have to kind of point at other people and go, well, it's your fault because you keep saying things. And then they're like, yeah, but you said something. And that's Spectrum, everyone.
Spectrum in a nutshell.
Yeah. Okay, and that leads us on to a post from Dark Invader. And it says, after 6 years subscriptions, I quit. So basically going on for 3 days now and he still can't access the game. So he's cancelled his subscription and is uninstalling the game. He's saying every patch, every build has problems, you know, the usual stuff. And he can't really sit and hope anymore that the patch is going to work. I definitely feel your pain. I think that's drastic to just uninstall a game. That, my friend, is not quitting. That's rage quitting.
Yeah, that is definite rage quit. That's proper throwing your toys out the pram.
Oh yeah.
I don't really agree with the whole, you know, rage quit, uninstall, and then putting a random post on Spectrum for whatever purpose that is meant to achieve.
Yeah.
But I do kind of agree that it's probably a good time for him to go and have a rest somewhere else for a little bit and then come back in a year.
Yeah, otherwise you'll just end up pad ramming.
Yeah.
No, I do agree, though. I think that when you get to that point where you can't take it anymore, although, dude, it's been working fine and now you've got 3 days where you can't play. You should try not being able to play for months on end with just never-ending bugs. I swear, you watch a couple of our streams, my friend, because then you'll understand. I mean, it is amazing how half our Discord haven't rage quit by now. I know people who have like lost all of their ships for long periods of time, long periods. You know, it's just there's some crazy stuff out there, and it is frustrating. But it seems silly after such a long time to quit, you know, and to just go, I'm done with this. It's like you build this relationship for 6 years, and then you just can't take one argument. Do you know what I mean? That makes sense.
Yeah.
And there are better and fully functioning games out there. There are so many better games out there than this, but they're not like this, and they don't do the things this does. Don't get me wrong. Probably in like a year's time, there'll be a game out that is Star Citizen, what we want it to be, and someone just made it in like 2 years. But at the moment, this is it. This is Star Citizen.
For anyone who hasn't kind of cottoned on yet, there's a lot of outcry at the moment on Spectrum and in other areas. It's just a growing thing at the moment. It doesn't seem to be going away.
No. And there seems to be a lot of people who are like this, like you pointed out, you know, this is kind of, don't take this. You do watch Dark Invader. I don't mean this to be mean, but this is a completely pointless post because it doesn't help anyone. All you've done really is you've come on here to say I'm leaving, and everyone's gone meh. I don't care, because you're one person in thousands and thousands and thousands. You know, it would be more productive to come on here and say I think these things or I think that, but just saying I'm done didn't really warrant a Spectrum post. But it's funny because we get to cover it because it's got a hell of a lot of upvotes for some reason. Cool, so next up we've got a post from Aidan, and it says, daily reminder that a Squadron 42 update video was scheduled for Tuesday the 19th and was delayed for editorial reasons. That is all. 7 days and counting. Editorial reasons. I'd love to know what that means, because that's so vague.
It's super vague.
It's just too vague.
Either, I don't know, the editor just couldn't be bothered that day, or maybe it got corrupted when they were rendering something.
Maybe.
I don't know, I'm just throwing out guesses now.
Yeah, I mean, what I would say is if you mean editing as in actually editing the video, then I recommend that if you're not using it, use Premiere, because it's had a new update and you can now use your graphics card, which makes rendering much quicker. I learnt this the other weekend when I was rendering a video and I went to make some food and it was done in like 5 minutes. I was like, what the hell? So there you go. Star Citizen, get yourself a decent graphics card. Which is it's hilarious because I'll assume that they've got one, and get rendering, because you know, there's no excuse. Get it out, do it. Come on, we want it.
Yeah, the frustrating part is that they just haven't even said, you know, oh, we couldn't get it out today because of reasons, but you know, we'll get it out next week. Yeah, and be, okay, fine, that's fine. But there's just nothing. So yeah, there's a few people kicking off about it now. Yeah,
I mean, someone's pointed out here that, you know, this is kind of the norm really for CIG. You know, if they say, oh, we're going to put this out, you know, on Tuesday, then it will probably be 3 weeks from Tuesday, you know, and that's kind of their thing. And I mean, you know, fair enough. But yes, again, we're back to that whole issue where if they just told us why and when, we'd all just go, okay, fair enough, you know, it's a delay. But when they kind of just go, yeah, vague reason, and then leave you guessing, that's when people come here and start typing. So silly CIG.
This actually reminded me that I'm pretty sure it was said somewhere that they were going to do a Theatres of War test with the Evocati over the weekend. I swear it said that somewhere.
Yeah.
And that never happened. But there's no word of it or anything. It's just gone.
Yeah, they scrub it from existence as well. So if they promise something that they can erase, they do. A bit like the way that people moderate this forum. You know, is that if you don't like it or you disagree or it doesn't work with your narrative, delete it. Which is that's mean. What I'm going to start doing is every single thing that ever gets said about Star Citizen, I'm going to print it out on actual paper and keep a hard copy of all their promises, so that when they go, well, I don't know where that promise is, I can send it to them in the post. Okay, and last up, we've got a post from Xanix, and it is another Squadron 42 post, and it says, CIG, I'm eagerly waiting for the new Squadron 42's trailer. So this is a very special moment for all the backers. According to the old and current roadmap, the Squadron 42 project's alpha phase is almost over, and the internal beta testing is about to start. What a crucial moment for everyone, developers and supporters. Some of us can't wait to see it. So, where is this Squadron 42 video? Yeah, I mean, basically, the beta should, in theory, be coming out around about September time. So we really are not far away from that. They can barely get a video out about it. So what do you think? What are our chances?
I think we called this months ago that there's no way this is going to beta in the end of September. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, not at all.
Yeah, as we were just saying, there was meant to be an update video last week, and that's disappeared as well. It kind of makes you wonder what they're going to say in this update video.
Delays,
yeah. Not coming out till next year. Sorry, tech problems.
Oh yeah, Hooked Games said it right. Sales first, bad news later. Yeah, spot on.
Exactly.
It's spot on. I mean, that is the CIG way, and don't get me wrong, I mean, we are harping on CIG a lot lately, but it's because there is a lot to talk about, you know, and there is a lot of positives, and we have covered them, and, you know, the game is amazing, you know, but...
Oh, you sound like one of them posters. What's going on?
That is the way that every Spectrum post starts. I love this game. It's amazing. I've followed it for 27 years, but it's had my babies. But, you know, there are a lot of problems at the minute, and that is unfortunately what is coming out in Spectrum. They follow a trend, which is that they can't quite seem to hit a target. And when they do, it's really buggy. And I mean, fair enough, because that's development. I mean, it must be an utter nightmare for them. And I do feel really bad for these developers because they are working their asses off to get this game out. But it is frustrating for everyone else because, again, you look at all these posts and everyone agrees on the same thing, that we are hoping for the best, but we're just expecting this failure. We're expecting this failure to communicate, failure to provide what they've promised. You know, that's kind of the way it feels at the minute.
Yeah, anyone with some real sense who kind of clocks that this was not going to happen at their kind of first. It's not even their first. What is it? I don't even know what we're up to now. Is this the second date they've given us for this, or third, fourth?
Maybe,
I'm not even sure.
Who knows? Who's counting?
Yeah, it's not coming out in September. There will be no beta this year, I would imagine. I wouldn't be surprised if, like I said, beta gets moved back to next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know if I want to beta test the thing. I think I'll just let everyone else do it, and then I'll play it properly when it's ready.
Yeah, I'd quite like to sort of see the story through from start to finish once it's done. You know, that would be much more fun. I wonder if they're going to go down the Cutty Blue route, where they will delay it, and then they'll say nothing about it, and then just randomly one day there'll be a beta pop up, and everyone will go mental in Spectrum. Maybe. You know, but no, I can see it coming out with some fanfare, but definitely not September.
Really, they would want to kind of release the beta or announce the beta. They haven't even specifically said who's going to be able to test this beta.
Yeah.
Whatever scale they give in the test. But you would imagine that they would want to either announce it or release it to the testers that they want to during CitizenCon, because that is kind of what the date lines up with. CitizenCon should be in October.
Yeah.
Historically, they've delayed the release of the third patch in a year to coincide with CitizenCon.
Yeah.
I believe CitizenCon this year was moved back. No, it was actually on October, wasn't
it? Yes. Yeah, it was.
I remember now. So yeah, maybe that's kind of what they were aiming for. But if they don't hear that, then I would imagine it would go back in another year to October 2021.
Don't see why not, because they don't have many opportunities to fanfare stuff, you know. So yeah. I mean, fingers crossed. Maybe it'll come out. I mean, there's a load of comments, and I very rarely read the comments, but there is one here that just, I'm so sick and tired of hearing this same comment, which is, you know, everyone should expect Squadron 42 to be delayed. Thousands of people are actually dying out there. There are more important concerns than game development. Not to game developers, you nutter. That is their job and livelihood. So that is very important to them. That's their concern. And so long as they're not dying, it shouldn't affect them, really, to be honest. So let's be honest about it. I must admit, I'm sick and tired of hearing this. I'm not going to say the word because I think our video gets like squashed to the bottom of YouTube if you say the C word. But
C word.
The C word, yeah, it's a different type of C word, I promise. Yeah, it's, yes, there's a lot of problems going on at the minute in the world, but they should be isolated by now and just working their asses off, pushing their kids outdoors, hiding them in cupboards, whatever you have to do to work. Okay, so there you have it, folks. That is all the posts for this week. We hope you liked them. We hope you found them informative or amusing. If you did like them, then don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more Star Citizen content. And don't forget to get into that comment section and comment for your chance to win that awesome Avenger Invictus. Blue and gold, awesome, loads of insurance, why not? And don't forget to sign up to our Discord, not just to chat to us because we're awesome, and to speak with all of our herd who are lovely people, but you also get an additional chance to win. So yeah, definitely sign up. And don't forget, I don't say it very often now, but we do have a Patreon if you're feeling generous and you want to support us. But I think that's pretty much it. So thanks everyone very, very much for watching, and we'll see you again next week. Bye bye.
Bye bye.